Namaste, angels. I'm here to do a client reading for a Facebook friend of mine, or a friend of mine, on which I met on Facebook, fellow Gemini, and somebody with whom I get along well, to otherwise not at all know them, and on any kind of personal level, just Facebook. And I'm beginning with my cross. My copyrighted cross in advance, because I had started this reading, and for the first time in a super long time, my camera overheated. Possibly the dark mad about the cards that I had pulled for her. As I was shuffling, I saw, to the positive. Well, they're all to the positive, because we need to know all of this stuff, right? We need all the answers, all the messages that we can receive. And we need to count them all as blessings and appreciate them all. But in very special form, I began with Mary and blessings and continued, to open to Mary. But what was really, really special about it, Mary opposite Jesus at one point. And then the dove that represents celebration in this deck, but is also representative in general of the Holy Spirit, a very Pentecostal looking dove, with today being Friday, June 2nd, on which I'm doing this reading, and Sunday, June 4th, is the actual feast of the Pentecost. So seeing Mary, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, I thought was really, really special. And then I opened to eternal flame, which is also awesome for them. But fear too, which I saw not only as I was shuffling alone, but as I was shuffling on camera. So I had gotten to the point where I had cut the cards, laid the cards, and then I noticed that the camera light was off. And I'm like, what the? And it was super, super hot. So anyway, I'm beginning again. It has cooled down. I'm beginning again. And this card will represent what the feminine and or her higher self is feeling about her in relation to the union right now. Birth. Wow, beautiful, especially on the heels of the other Pentecostal dove I was just talking about. This is another one for me, and these three rays representing the Holy Spirit. I actually have a sonogram, my personal sonogram, on Facebook, speaking of Facebook, with these three rays in my uterus, along with a heart shape. A heart shape with these three rays coming from it is in my uterus. Don't ask. Well, now that I mentioned it, I obtained it because I went for a GYN exam, and none of the oh goodness, that stupid thing they insert and then open up. I don't know why I can't think of the name, having had this horrible experience so many times in my life at this point, at my age. But anyway, the thing that they use to open up and look, that metal clamp-like thing, none of them fit. Speculum. There it is. None of the speculums fit. And they had even gone to the smallest one, and that didn't fit. So the doctor says, let me get a dilator. Something that they use to assist him in opening up so that the speculum can fit. And it was a Monday morning when my appointment was, and it turned out, this is how spirit works, nobody had sterilized the dilators, which is pretty gross, from the Friday evening before. So he couldn't use a dilator on me because they were gross, they were dirty. And none of the speculums fit. So he said, I'm going to have to send you for a sonogram. So that was God. God didn't want me to have the internal exam. Probably didn't want another man or masculine energy up in there, at least not at that point. And the sonogram pictures resulted in this heart shape. It's in black, so it looks like deep space or something. Heart shape with these white, these three rays like this coming from it in my sonogram picture. But for the person for whom I'm reading, definitely this is about the birth of something new and in relation to herself. So maybe a personal transformation, spiritual growth, emotional growth, reborn. Because I think we go through death and rebirth multiple times, not only metaphorically, but actual lifetimes. In fact, I've said before on probably like last year in one of my teaching videos, because I haven't really done many of those this year, that I believe we may have 13, 14, possibly. I was like stuck teetering on those. Maybe it's 13 deaths and 14 rebirths, sort of representative of King Osiris, right, of the father, and his 13 pieces. And then, well, he was 14 pieces, one being destroyed, and then him being reborn, the first mummy and all this kind of thing. I actually had a friend, again, speaking of Facebook, recently, a Facebook friend, I don't know him otherwise. He had some sort of feelings, thoughts on a possibility of 13 lives, but he was connecting it to astrology and saying that he believed, or was going to test the theory that we all come back, as each astrological sign. I thought the theory was worth investigating, although I know for myself that is not true. I know that I'm a Gemini now, and I was a Gemini before, at least twice. All that said, getting back to this, the masculine's feelings with relation to the feminine and the union. Love. How beautiful is that? Aww. And with regard to himself. Golden path. So he knows that he's on a journey. He may not know like the full magnitude, or maybe he does, of what's happening. I don't think he does. I'm not getting that he does, but he knows that he's on some sort of journey, that he's going toward his own spiritual and emotional growth, and he's headed in the right direction. Beautiful. With relation to the union, tantric union, very nice. This is even when you're apart, I still feel you, I still think you, I still like live and breathe you. We're very much in contact in the 5D as well. Overall, the gateway, the union is like the passageway to that spiritual growth, to that emotional growth. It's the portal that leads us there. Like we walk down the path, we reach this, we go in, together. And the outcome, relationship with this beautiful blue angel and these two, like perhaps twin dolphins that may be in their own relationship here at the bottom. I love that. This sitting here underneath love. And sort of crossing tantric union. Very beautiful. What would the overall energy I hadn't shown you? Again, I'm starting over with the cards already laid. Divine guidance. So this is more that, because I had also seen eternal flame. This is more that eternal, this feeling of, it's infinite, goes on forever. There's no break ever here. Also the number 8, right? Not just like an infinity symbol, but the number 8, which represents justice and abundance, good things. Growth, again, growth. What would the masculine have the feminine do or sacrifice toward this union? Meditation. She needs to find her zen, according to him. She needs to get back into balance and peace restored, which as a Gemini, it's possible that she's instead anxious and I don't mean anxious necessarily in like a fearful way, just anxious and like can't sit still, can't remain focused. And I say that with all the love in the world toward air signs, as myself, a Gemini with an Aquarius moon. Okay, so, not talking down or whatever on air signs. It just is what it is. What the masculine would do or sacrifice himself toward helping this relationship to come together, this union to come together. He's going to be counting his blessings, or he has begun counting his blessings. So again, this is the card with which I had started when I initially began the reading. And what would the universe have the two of them do toward the union or surrender? Golden memories. This is the universe asking that the two of them release and let go of the past, taking only the positive with them and leaving any resentment or baggage behind. Wow, beautiful. Birth, love, tantric union, relationship, these beautiful blessings. Very nice. with that, I'm going to go on to the next spread, beginning with the 6 of fire. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. And opening 2, the Knight of Air, who's intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. This is her energy coming through. Again, we can be anxious, right? Confusing, chaotic, reckless. The Knight of Air is a Gemini, like the Divine Feminine, or perhaps an Aquarius, a Libra. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options so you can come up with creative solutions, rather than just taking off recklessly like a Gemini may very well do. 6 of fire back. Opening to the 4 of fire. Contentment, peace, and abundance. A happy home life and the successful completion of a project. This card very much a card of relationship as well. Commitment, even marriage. This could be victory in that area specifically, or with regard to someone's home, or other foundations, their peace. 6 of fire back. Opening to the 6 of earth. Gifts of money, time, or effort. This is the masculine's energy too, although it's not a court card. He's a Capricorn. New career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. This is all about unconditional love. Pure, unadulterated, unconditional love. Even from people with whom we're not in a romantic relationship. People who just want to give, truly, genuinely give, because that's what they want to do, not because they're expecting anything back. So as it relates to love and the union specifically, but also as it relates to other things in their life, this is going to be about, just being real, just real love, real justice, real righteousness. 6 of earth, at least in this deck, or particularly in this deck, represents for me the planet Venus, which rules both Taurus of the earth and Libra, the scales. So that's their earth and air also combined in one card too. 6 of fire back and opening to the 7 of fire. Defend your beliefs and decisions. Stand your ground. Choose your battles wisely. Seven of fire back. I'm going to cut. It's the 9 of earth. Enjoying life's little luxuries, spending quiet time alone, and successful self-employment. This is about liking you, enjoying being with you, not like, this is self-love, basically. The overall energy is strength with Archangel Ariel. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Exercise instead some forgiveness, compassion. Strength represents the sign of Leo, but can also be coming through for Aries, Sagittarius, or, just the energy, the behavior, the attributes of those of such. There may also be an air sign, a fire sign that has been impactful upon, perhaps adversely, this union. That may be why we've seen, the 7 of fire. I saw the 9 of fire before as I was shuffling. These can be reasons. Often when I see those and when I pull those, that 5 of fire isn't far behind. Somebody, close friend and or family member, that's been a block, with whom you've had conflict, that maybe perhaps is, jealous of you, envious of you. The masculine is the moon with Archangel Haniel. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes. Release fears that hold you back. So this may be why the fear card showed up. The masculine could be holding on to some sort of ego and or fear based energy, particularly as a Capricorn, this is something that can come through. Capricorn, earth, all about material things, the earthly, ruled by Saturn, the devil in the tarot, all of these temptation and secrecy and ego and fear are potential. The moon, however, represents the sign of Pisces and other water signs, Cancer, Scorpio. And the actual moon, the Earth's moon in the sky, rules the sign of Cancer. So these things could be coming into play too. This card also guides us to pay close attention to our intuition. Surrounded by the Lovers, representing the sign of Gemini yet again, or other air sign, Aquarius, Libra, but we know in this case, this feminine is a Gemini. Intimate relationships, carefully weigh your decisions. Good health. In the masculine subconscious, it's release with Archangel Azrael, the end of a phase or situation. Spiritual transformation. Here's that birth and death and, over and over. Release is actually the death card in the traditional tarot. It's time to move on from something that's no longer, that is dead, is done. The feminine, the Three of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time and make long-term plans. Three of Fire can also be about a party of three. Not necessarily romantic, but quite possibly also a love triangle, as they say. And that doesn't mean actively either. Our ex's energy and all these things can, if we haven't cut cords or, resolved karmic issues with them, can also come through as Three of Fire or anything else. Surrounding. The feminine is surrounded by the Page of Fire, who's outgoing, creative, confident, and mischievous. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Like, for example, again, somebody's ex can be a fire sign. Court cards tend to represent actual people. For me. So they could be a fire sign or someone taking on those attributes. The Page of Fire is an Aries, which can be very overbearing, or a Leo, which can also be very overbearing, or a Sagittarius. And I say this too with love as a Leo rising myself. Yes, a Leo and Aries can be overly overbearing and aggressive to the point that it is no longer attractive. It's quite unattractive, actually, overwhelming. In the feminine subconscious, renewal with Archangel Jeremiah, which is judgment. Review and evaluate, a favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. Judgment may actually represent the sign of Pisces too, now that I think about it. I'm not sure, but that just came to me. It's possible. In any case, what it definitely represents is the need to not be judgmental against yourself or anybody else. It also represents the fact that, your boss or, some other means of, if you do have successful self-employment, for example, maybe your customer base or something, having a watchful eye on you in a very positive sense and wanting to give you, a raise, a bonus, a promotion, some sort of public recognition. That's boss can also be God, the universe wanting to bestow gifts upon you. Also, with regard to relationships, this card has to do with having reached a crossroad, like a make or break time in the relationship where you have to face it and decide, what are we doing? And with the Lovers here on the table, along with the renewal, and also death, like the need to let go of something old to address what's right here in the present, this situation. This can certainly be yes, the need to make a decision once and for all to commit to the situation. Crowning next to this Three of Fire, this other three is another three. It's the World, Major Arcana card 21 with Archangel Michael. A job well done, joy, contentment, gratitude, the path toward enlightenment, similar to the path on which the masculine was walking in the initial spread. right? He was on that golden path. Very, very similar. With this card, it reflects the fact that the universe is easing you out of one situation in your life that was, trying, hard, difficult, long, could be a job, could be a relationship of any kind, could be, all of these, anything that would make you, after it's done, be like, whew, like finally, thank God that's over. Thank God I'm past that in my life. That's what the world represents. And the fact that the universe is now easing you into a new beginning, a new start, as sort of like a reward for, staying the course and surviving, basically. At the root, the Queen of Fire, who's confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Well, this can have not only dual, but triple meaning. The Queen of Fire is the quintessential divine feminine of the tarot. So here and at the root, there can certainly be something going on with the feminine, especially since she's got this other fire energy surrounding her and crowning her. Now I'm thinking maybe judgment is fire. Forget it. I don't remember, obviously. But on top of that, again, this can represent somebody else who's involved in and or impactful upon the union, possibly adversely, as in like they're a block. And lastly, somebody can have some, fire in their chart. Like I've already gone over my sun, moon, and rising signs. Somebody can definitely be a fire sign, moon, or rising. At the heart of the matter, the King of Water, who's trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work, which is love. We have this King of Water, I guess very appropriately, crossing the moon, which again is a Pisces, as well as crossing death, which is a Scorpio. The King of Water himself is a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or someone taking on those attributes, behaviors. The King of Water is also the King of love and emotion. He's about releasing that fear and opening your heart to love, welcoming love. And he's very mature about it. Whereas a Pisces is more like a Gemini, one of those immature, quote unquote, immature signs. And that may show up as a page instead. The King of Water tends to be somebody who is mature, and perhaps not only mature, but older. That's a possibility too. And I only mean older in that a page could very well be like a child or a teenager or a kid, basically. And then a knight, maybe 20s to 30 or something. And then above that, king, queen would come into play. The next card is upside down. I'm going to move on to the romance cards and see if we can get more clarity of what might have some dark to it. Shadow side, which is like the world. Perhaps the Three of Fire. Perhaps the moon, stuff we don't know. Perhaps the lovers. And about what the decision may be. But opening, more importantly, opening right away to soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Soulmate. And let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Soulmate. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Opposite the soulmate. Very beautiful. Soulmate back, and pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. That can be this Three of Fire here, or this Page of Fire, or even this Queen of Fire, or the 7 we saw earlier. And the need to possibly defend yourself and your decisions against other people. As I was shuffling these by myself, I have to tell you, I also saw separation a few times, and I saw release your ex too. So I don't know if those will come back into play or not. It is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, which again is the King of Water sentiments as well. As well as Jesus's, with whom I started the reading, although you didn't get to see that part. Soulmate back. I'm going to cut. And it's pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you yet again. I'm going to have to look up later what judgment is, because I don't even remember how I learned. It might be one of the things that was just sort of put into my head, but right now is not coming to me. The overall energy is soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Beautiful. Here atop the moon, very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. The moon sits here atop this decision, potential decision with the lovers. That can very well be a decision. So now we have this very soon sitting above that, saying if you pick one, if you make a decision, you'll get it. Right? It's on its way to you. Atop the lovers. Playfulness to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So it's possible that the masculine is this more mature energy and or person, perhaps literally based on age in the relationship. And he's being guided to be more Gemini-like in order to fix things. Like come through a little more lighthearted and fun and maybe immature in the sense that you're playful, yeah. Not in the sense that you're acting like a little boy, but that it's lighthearted and playful. Atop release or death, this end of a past phase and beginning a new one, is this could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. This here in the masculine subconscious. Atop the 3 of fire. And the abundance, getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. This could easily represent abundance of love, especially crossing the king of water. Atop the page of fire, healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents, but not only your parents, it's anybody. Again, it can be an ex, it can be siblings, it can be friends that, you know, are sort of like family. They're that close to you. The blood relation doesn't matter. Whatever, anybody who is so impactful upon you that they can sort of affect whether or not you're able to live and or love harmoniously, you know, and get on with your life is with whom you need to heal these things. Now, like the 7 of fire suggests, you can decide how. Like you can address these things and repair these relationships, or you can walk away from them. You know, you choose your battles. So as I was saying before, that this could be this fire sign or fire sign energy can be even a family member. It's a third energy. It's a block. Yeah, the romance angels co-signing that. It's a family member. It's some sort of family issue. Atop renewal and the make or break moment in the relationship that you guys may have very well reached, or it seems you have, is true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So if you got to decide what to do, where do we go from here? This is the answer. Atop the world and the phase ending, situation ending that maybe has left you afraid, fearful of moving forward or whatever. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So whereas you may have had a difficult relationship in the past on either side or both, that you're sort of stuck. It's keeping you sort of bound. Maybe that's why it sits here next to a 3 and crossing a healing family issues, and sits here next to his moon card, which can very well be about fear and restraining yourself, a restrictive energy. It's saying the romance angels come through to say it's not going to be like that time. It's not going to be like last time. Like this is your soulmate, okay? And this can be very, very different from anything you've ever experienced before in your life. And when I picked up this soulmate, this one is upside down, but You know, it's related. It's calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So it's like soulmate, 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 you know, like if you didn't get it yet, here it is again. Feel empowered to move on. Again, your overall energy here is strength. When I pick this up, there's another number 3 underneath this one too. It's the 3 of water upside down. Here atop the Queen of Fire, unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. This fire sign energy or actual fire sign person is a block. And it can be on both sides. We know for you, it's some sort of family member, which can still be an ex. It may be an ex or past relationship that's led to fear on the masculine side too. And this is of what we have to let go. This is why it sits here next to death. This is why. Death to this love that is no more. But let death to the fear that's attached to it too, that prevents you from moving on with somebody else that can make you happy. Like death to all of that. The world to it. End of a phase and trying situation. Being eased into a new, far more, beautiful and healthy and loving situation. At the heart of the matter, here atop the King of Water, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. The King of all love and emotion makes a romantic gesture. Can you imagine, like what that might be, how awesome that might be? I'm going to move on to the Ascended Master cards, beginning with artistic expression and Paul the Venetian. This can be coming up with creative ways to express our love or anything else we have to get off our chests. Opening to yoga and Babaji. You might need this, Divine Feminine, or at least the masculine. Was it that the masculine felt about you that you needed meditation, or was that what you felt about yourself? Might have been what you felt about yourself. In any case, you needed some meditation. Artistic expression back. And opening to teacher. This is all about the experience that life, can't help but bestow upon us. Artistic expression back. And opening to choose peace. So maybe in deciding, do we walk away or repair these relationships? Whichever one leads to peace, that's what you do. Artistic expression, and opening now to retreat into nature and the Green Man, which is a sign that abundance is on its way. Artistic expression back. I'm going to cut. And it's the Green Man back yet again. Overall energy is detached from drama, says Pallas Athena. And when the goddess of war tells you to leave war and drama alone, you leave it alone. Atop very soon, spiritual law of attraction. So just where this says, decide what you want so that it comes to you, that's what this is about. Decide what you want, focus on that, bring it in, manifest it. That's what the spiritual law of attraction is all about. Atop playfulness and the lovers, listen. This is listening. It's sitting here underneath the moon especially. This is paying attention to messages from spirit, paying attention to your intuition, listening to the guidance that you're given in order to move forward. Here atop, this could be the one, freedom with Hina. So with this release, with this death of what's old, what no longer works, what has ended, with letting that go, that leads to freedom and the opportunity to be with the one. Atop getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens, is positive change in Paravati. This is also atop the 3 of fire. So moving on from that energy of 3 as well, maybe toward an energy of 2. partnership, love. Here, atop healing family issues, and this fire sign energy is father, husband, brother, son. That can be any one of these, can be who this person is for you. It can be the father of your child or children. It can be your ex-husband or boyfriend. It can be your brother. It can be your son, should you have one. It can be any male or masculine, rather, energy in your life with whom you need to heal something, including your own. And when it's our own, that's the only one from which we can't walk away. You know, we can't heal it by walking away or ignoring it. We have to address that one way or another. Here atop the true love and the judgment is focus upon your strengths as an Apollo. Atop, keep an open mind. And was Major Arcana here too? It was. The world, right, exactly. Nurture yourself with Mother Mary. This is a do you card. This is whomever was that third energy, part of the world or whatever. This is not worrying about that anymore, and instead living and or loving for yourself now, and not because of or for that energy at all. Atop unrequited love and the Queen of Fire priorities, says King Solomon. You need to dispense with this relationship one way or another, or heal it one way or another ASAP. Put that on your list. Number one of things to do. Your freedom is at stake, or the masculine's freedom is at stake. For you, true love, perhaps. This make or break time, this crossroad in your life is at stake. You have to heal this. At the heart of the matter, atop the express your love and the king of water, the king of love and emotion, is health and healing with Hilarion. And of course, nurturing yourself and healing this relationship with this fire sign energy and letting go of fear, all those things leading to health and healing for each and both of you and the union. From the romance angels further to the masculine deception, someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. The next card is upright. Let go of control issues and allow this situation to unfold naturally. So it would appear that he himself is who's wearing the false self mask. The next card is upside down, but he's not facing his true self and his true life. He's not paying attention to the signs. He's not following in accordance with the law of attraction, and you know he's operating out of fear and ego. So that's the deception. For you, codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. This can be connected again to this third energy. Any person, place, or thing upon which, or combination of those, upon which we are dependent in a negative way. There's a negative cord of emotion and or attachment between us, is what we have to let go of. From the Ascended Master to the masculine, choose peace. So in resolving any and all issues of his, whichever lead to peace, that's the ones he's to go with. For you, and this fits very well with your overall energy of detached from drama too. It's just leave drama behind, only moving toward peace, toward love, like the king of all love and emotion would do. For you, artistic expression and Paul the Venetian, this may be coming up with creative ways as opposed to that sharp Gemini tongue to express yourself in a more positive sense and your true self, like what you really, really feel, not like what you feel in a moment, what you feel overall. Because again, this is judgment time. From the Universal Love Oracle to the masculine soulmate. So once again, yes, this is your soulmate. To you, from the sorrow from Mother Mary. Perhaps as a result of whatever this pain is, this old resentment and pain towards somebody that may be from an inner child issue, maybe something with your own father too, or maybe it began there. The relationship that you had or didn't have with your own father is what has resulted with some of this. Mary, just sad that you have not been reaching your fullest potential, not only as an individual, but with regard to this union. And looking forward to you taking her advice and nurturing yourself, nurturing the union, healing what needs healing, and moving on. That's what she wants to see. From the angels to the masculine, the 8 of fire, events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. This can be about communication as well between you. And for you, the 6 of fire is back. This is with what I began. Victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition and awards also. So you will triumph over all of these things. The union will be triumphant. You guys will figure out a way to come together in peace and away from drama. I hope that you enjoy your reading and you find it helpful. Namaste, Angel.